With tools like Claude Cowork and Claude Code, do businesses really need AI automation with Make or n8n? This is a question I got from one of my well-wishers, and I know many of you have the same doubt, so let's answer it properly. Claude Cowork became a viral sensation. It showed the world what AI agent can actually do. Many companies that never touched automation started experimenting with it, but here is the important part. Make and n8n are not dead. Their value will actually increase. Let me explain. We have seen this before in tech. When Canva was introduced, many people thought designers would become irrelevant. Before Canva, professional designers mostly used tools like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. Those tools required skill, training, and experience. Then Canva made design simple. People assumed, why I hire designers anymore? But what actually happened was quite different. More companies started caring about branding, more startups began investing in visuals, and the value of good designers and tools like Photoshop and Illustrator increased. Because when everyone can produce average work, quality stands out even more. This phenomenon is called the democratization effect. When a technology becomes accessible to everyone, participation increases, output increases, competition increases, and standards increases. And when standard increases, quality becomes the differentiator. Now apply this to AI agents. Claude Cowork made AI accessible. More companies are experimenting with AI agents, but at some point, these companies are going to hit operational limits. Claude Cowork is a powerful tool. It can handle sophisticated on-demand automation. But it is not designed for persistent, always-on backend workflow orchestration across multiple systems. Businesses need AI automations tailored to their operational workflows, and Cowork is not built for that depth. It can execute powerful tasks when prompted, but it is not designed to run continuous, production-grade backend systems that operate 24/7 without human initiation. They need structured, scalable systems with multi-step workflows, deep integrations, data control, compliance safeguards, and reliable backend automation infrastructure. Okay, I'll show you an example. A consumer good-based company had a financial and operational data spread across multiple platforms. Their accounting software, online stores, and CRMs were not synchronized. That meant invoices, payments, refunds, and product updates had to be manually checked and reconciled every single day. Reporting was slow, inconsistencies were common, and small errors often turned into larger financial issues. What they needed was not a chatbot or basic AI agent. They needed a connected system where an order placed online automatically generated the correct invoice, where payments instantly updated accounting records, where refunds reflected across all platforms, where missing customer data was handled intelligently, and were reports updated in real time without manual exports. They also needed safeguards. If a sync failed, the system had to detect it and alert the right person before it caused damage. If product data changed, every platform had to reflect that change accurately. This required structured workflow, layered business logic, API level integration, and backend automation running continuously and reliably. Claude Cowork cannot architect something like this. It can execute tasks within a session, but it is not designed to build deeply integrated, always running operational systems tailored to how a business actually runs. AI agents primarily operate in session-based manner, meaning they execute tasks when prompted. Automation platforms like Make and n8n run continuously and autonomously in the background without requiring human initiation. That is the difference. So, what about Claude Code? This is where it gets interesting. Claude Code is an AI that writes code for you. You describe what you want in plain English, and it builds the logic, connects the APIs, handles the error handling, and set up the end-day workflow all by itself. So the question becomes obvious. If Claude Code can do all of that, why would anyone need Make or n8n at all? And here is the thing. The possibilities are actually real. You can use Claude Code to generate an automation blueprint, a full workflow structure with all the logic mapped out, and then export that directly to Make or n8n. So instead of manually dragging and dropping each node, you describe what you want, Claude Code builds the blueprint, and your workflow is ready in minutes. That's already happening. But it goes further than that. Think about that for a second. A few years ago, building a system that automatically synced your CRM, triggered emails, update your databases, and ran reports required a developer, weeks of work, and thousands of dollars. Now someone with zero coding experience can describe that system and have a working version running on the same day. So yes, the barrier is down fast. You can build the real systems without Make, without n8n, without writing a single line of code yourself. But here is where the real conversation starts. Claude Code can build the automation. That part is settled. But building it and keeping it running are two very different things. Let me break this down and tell you the problems that you might face. Imagine your automation fails at 2 a.m. in the morning. A Claude Code script gives you one thing to work with, hundreds of lines of code, and somewhere inside that something went wrong. Now someone has to read through all of it line by line to find the problem. In Make or n8n, you open the workflow, you can see exactly which step failed, what data come in, what went wrong. No code reading required. For a business that cannot afford downtime, that visibility is not a nice to have, but it is critical. Say, you built a complex automation with Claude Code. You move on, someone else take over. They are now responsible for a system they cannot fully understand. And every time something needs to change, they have to figure out what to touch and what to not to touch. One wrong move and the whole thing breaks. That is a real business risk. Now imagine the same situation with Make or n8n. The next person opens the workflow and sees a visual map of exactly what happens. Step 1 does this, step 2 does this, data goes here. If this condition is true, it goes this way. If not, it goes another way. With Make or n8n, the workflow is the documentation. Anyone in the team can open it and immediately understand what is happening. This is the question most people forget to ask. Claude Code writes the automation, but where does it live? You still need a server, you still need scheduling, uptime monitoring, retry logic, and execution logs. Make and n8n give you all of that out of the box. The infrastructure is already there, already managed. With a Claude Code script, you are responsible for setting all that up yourself and maintaining it and making sure it does not quietly fail in the background without anyone noticing. Most businesses are not run by developers. Marketing teams, operation managers, finance leads, these people need to open a workflow, understand it, and make small changes without touching code. With a Claude Code script, every single change means going back to Claude Code. Every tweak, every adjustment, every small update. That is not practical for a growing team. So here is the honest answer. Claude Code and Make or n8n are not competing with each other. They solve different parts of the same problem. Claude Code is the architect, it builds fast, iterates fast, and handles the logic. Make and n8n are the foundation that keep everything running, visible and manageable every single day. And the smartest teams right now are using both. They use Claude Code to build workflows faster, then they deploy and manage those workflows inside n8n or Make. The roles of these tools are shifting. They are no longer just about avoiding code. They are about running reliable system in production, keeping things visible, keeping teams in control. This is a different kind of value, but it is still very real. So let's bring all this together. The question was simple. Are Make and n8n still relevant? And the honest answer is yes, but not for the reason most people expect. The original value of these tools was about making automation accessible without writing code. That value is shrinking. Claude Code and Cowork are changing what is possible for anyone sitting at a laptop. But the new value of Make and n8n is something entirely different. It's about visibility, it's about reliability, it's about giving your entire team ownership over the system that they did not build. That value is not shrinking, it's growing. Because as more companies start automating, the ones that survive long term will not be the ones that build the most automations. They will be the ones that can build reliable systems. Comment your thoughts and subscribe for more AI automation content.